Thanks for downloading another segment from the Best of the Classic Metal Show. The Classic Metal Show is heard live on Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. And now here's another piece of Classic Metal Show history on the Best of the Classic Metal Show.
The Classic Metal Show.
That's Manowar with a live version of the CMS theme here. Hail and kill.
Right.
I know. You get a little nervous on Saturdays when the Classic Metal Show terrestrial show starts over there at the Rocket. And
I do,
and you're worried that you don't put in the dirty version of the CMS theme song instead of "Fuck you, pal." It's "You suck, pal."
Man, that is my biggest fear, is that one week I'll put the wrong one in there and just blow this whole gig up in one fell swoop.
Yeah. So CMS theme song clean, CMS theme song dirty.
Yeah, well, the one that I have, that's the clean one, has big all caps censored.
Nice.
So that I know which one to use.
Oh, that's funny, though, that we actually changed those words.
Yeah, it is. And it fits. I mean, it really does flow together perfectly.
Yeah. Just call me a radio genius.
Yeah, go ahead. If you want, go ahead and play. You go ahead and play the real one, and I'll play the cleaned up version.
The clean version. Yeah, we don't want to offend anyone with the dirty version.
Yeah, well, now that I'm on terrestrial, I have to watch what I say.
Yeah, because you're getting soft.
Yeah, that's right. I'm softening up the show.
All right, let's check out the theme song, which I love.
Classic Metal Show. Classic Metal Show.
Metal Show! Classic Metal Show! Chris and me, keeping it real. Classic metal, harder than steel. It's legendary, revolutionary, the world renowned, timeless sound. Classic Metal Show! Classic Metal Show! Hail and kill, rule and we shall. If you don't like it, fuck you, pal! Classic Metal Show! The Classic Metal Show!
Oh, you gotta love that.
I don't know, man. That was a little distasteful. I found that to be a little bit insensitive.
Yeah, right.
All right, well, let's see how this one compares. You ready?
Go.
Classic Metal Show. Classic Metal Show.
Chris and me, keeping it real. Classic metal, harder than steel. It's legendary, revolutionary.
I like it.
You know, I even cringed right there, making sure I wasn't sure I played the right one.
You suck, pal.
Sheldon did a really good job of him.
He did a phenomenal job.
And when you think he put in that little voice part, but 5 months later, and it sounds exactly the same. He hasn't changed even a little.
I know, isn't that great?
It is good, man. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, and it didn't even cost us anything to have him do that.
Yeah. It didn't cost us $200.
Yeah, it didn't cost us a couple of Benjamins.
Yeah, no bills exchanged there.
No. Holy smokes.
It's funny.
Little inside humor there.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty funny, though.
So, anyway, there you go. That is the terrestrial censored version of the CMS theme song. That is a great theme song, don't you think?
It really is, man. I mean, I challenge anybody to say that they've got a better theme song than we do.
Yeah, it's true. Thing kicks ass.
It does. Well, speaking of the terrestrial show, dude, as you know, our buddy Scott, he's been emailing me back and forth with he's thrilled with the Classic Metal Show terrestrial version up to this point.
So what is it about this show that he just loves so much? I mean, I listen to it and I think, yeah, it's pretty good, but I'm so used to us doing our 6-hour show.
Yeah.
That, the terrestrial show obviously is a little more tame.
Yeah, but I don't know about all that.
Well, I know, but it's a little more tame. I mean, obviously we don't have the language and we're a little more careful with how we phrase things, I guess. I don't know. But Scott,
are you really thinking that?
It's not as it's not as brutal or explosive.
Right. It's definitely not as explosive.
But Scott loves it for whatever reason.
Dude, he just thinks it's knee-slapping funny.
Well, what's really funny, though, is that they have that FM station over there.
Yeah.
And, he talks about how he's got a co-host who co-hosts their morning show, and the guy's in England, right?
Yeah, he's in the UK somewhere.
And, obviously the CMS streams out over the web exclusively. The 6-hour show is an exclusive webcast.
Right,
But he's impressed with our ability to have the audio that we have.
Yeah, he does. He says he asked me, him and I have been talking. We talk quite a bit because there's a lot of business to be done. And, he's like, I'd just like to know how you boys do that. You guys get great sound. How do you do it with you in Cleveland and Neeley up there in Chicago?
It's self-taught engineering is what it is.
I'm like, buddy, we do it all with the Skype.
Nice. Well, you sound like you're right there in the studio.
I've been flying back and forth for weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Scott does. He has said that to me. He's like, you sound like you're right there in the same room.
Well, he wouldn't believe how many hours of painstaking testing that this thing took over the years.
Ugh,
remember,
dude.
I mean, we used to do testing almost every single night. I go, hey, I think I got it now. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, I think I got it now.
And we would have it tuned in until the show started.
Yeah.
And then everything would go bizarro, even though neither of us touched anything.
Yeah. So, it wasn't easy, but we got to the point now to where it's almost 99%, pretty dead on.
Yeah, it's definitely working and working well right now. I think it's probably the inclusion of the over-the-head $10 mics that we bought there from Walmart.
The ones that come in the blister pack?
Yeah, they come in the blister pack. We just set up the computer right next to the front door of our studio apartment and, throw the sandwich on the floor and get to some broadcasting.
Last week's Dirt Talk segment was just brutal.
The best ever.
Oh, that was just brutal. I don't know if you didn't catch the show last week,
it's on iTunes.
Yeah, you really missed it, but holy smokes.
Yeah, that whole hour and a half segment is up on iTunes right now.
Well, anyway, speaking of that, if you listen to it, you heard some of the threats that Rev made just for the fact that we're on terrestrial radio.
Yes.
And, saying...
I have to admit, though, too, after he said that, I really thought about just packing it in. Really did.
So I let my corporate attorney listen to his threats about, if they talk about us, we're going to sue them, and they're on the public airwaves and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And you know what lawyer Fred had to say?
What? Probably that the Rev is a boob?
He said, I don't see the difference between broadcasting over the internet or going over terrestrial radio.
There is no difference.
He said, I don't see why he makes the distinguish between the two.
Yeah, there's no difference, dude.
There is no difference.
And ultimately, if you put yourself out there in the public forum, you're open for public scrutiny under fair use.
Right. So he goes, I don't get where this guy is coming from. And he says, and what does Eddie Trunk have to do with anything? he goes, well, what does he have to do? And what was the comment in the chat room? Who said that? It was like Temporal 72, or was it Citizen V who said Eddie Trunk, the People's Court or something?
I think it was Citizen V.
Yeah, he said something about Eddie Trunk, rock and roll's People's Court or something.
Right. The People's Court. Very nice.
It's like, I just didn't get that. It's just like, and if they do that, we're headed for Eddie Trunk.
Yeah, well, I can see that happening. I'm sure Eddie is
interested.
I'm sure Eddie cares that the Rev is upset with us.
I don't get it. But anyway, listening to his little diatribe,
yeah,
and the fact that we're on terrestrial and everything, and how now that makes a difference.
Yeah, somehow that's different.
But it's not.
No, not at all.
And it's fair use. So, Rev, if you ever take a minute to even listen to the Classic Metal Show, which I guarantee you he's never heard us once.
Probably not.
It's called fair use, my friend. Ask your broadcasting teacher about it, will you?
Yeah, and while you're at it, why don't you look up in the legal dictionary for fair use where it says specifically that if you do a broadcast, then anybody else can criticize you.
It becomes public domain, and it's open for criticism. Ask any news program out there that runs audio and video from other TV shows why they can do that.
Yeah, and maybe you want to look at like TMZ or somebody like that and wonder why they're not, closed down for bashing on everybody.
Right. If it's out there, you can use it.
Yeah, and please bring up more of your relatives because then that makes them fair use too. So please do.
Right.
Dumbbell.
So anyway, last week's segment was just over the top funny.
Yeah, it was. But anyway, Scott Clark. I don't know how we got onto Dirt Talk. We were talking about legitimate radio, and then we started talking about Dirt Talk. How does that happen?
Well, we were talking about legitimate radio and the fact that the Rev thinks that terrestrial radio is different than doing internet radio, as if it, the domain that you use makes a difference as to what you can say.
Well, he also thinks he has a girlfriend because somebody online talked to him once. So
exactly.
So but yeah, he's an idiot. But our buddy Scott, he loves the show.
Yeah. So what's his latest beef?
Well, he doesn't have any beef.
No, I don't mean beef. What's his latest thing about the show? Well,
he said that he's going to start sending me bits that'll make the show even funnier.
Oh, really?
I got this email from Scott. It says, something you might want to use. Attached is an MP3 of a fake commercial for Smartass Car. I have some other bits you might find interesting to use on your show if you like, Scott. So I thought, how could we waste something that our PD, Scott Clark, sent us?
Okay.
So I thought maybe we would demo it here on the show, and then we could, make a determination if we want it for the terrestrial show. How's that sound?
Right.
Since we're dumbing the show down and we're making it softer,
right?
Might as well just do as little as we can here, so we can save it all up for the good show.
Yeah, let's use people's other pre-recorded funnies.
Yeah, why not? So this is a commercial that our program director thinks we should start incorporating into the show. This is for Smartass Car.
Okay,
let's go.
The Smart Car is the new ultra-low-emission, fuel-saving vehicle. But for those who want a bit more attitude in their carbon footprint, we introduce the Smartass Car. Just turn the key and hear a brand new driving experience.
Welcome to Smartass Car. Where would you like to go? To save the polar bears?
Oh, ha ha, very funny.
With the new Smartass Car, you can help save the planet while showing off your intelligence.
Let me guess, you bought a tiny car to make other parts of you look bigger?
Hey, shut up!
And all your road trips will be made easy with the new Smartass GPS.
Plotting course to California so you can finally marry your life partner, Bruce.
Knock it off! I'm not gay!
Well, everyone in the Escalade behind you thinks you are.
The Smartass car. 50 miles per gallon and daily humiliation.
Would you like to pull over to hug a tree?
Is that it? Well, that that goes to show you why we make our own funnies on here.
Yeah. Scott, thank you for caring. And I appreciate your input. But no.
That's not what we do.
But I do want him to send more.
That's kind of silly, though, huh?
Oof.
Well, what are we turning into, the Hairball John show here?
It's hack radio at its finest.
Running fake commercials?
Hey, why not? We could run some good fake ones.
Let's run some fake commercials.
Maybe if we're lucky, we could get the Real Men of Business. Or what is that? Is that what it's called? Real Men of Business?
Real Men of Genius.
Oh, of Genius, whatever. Like I care. Real Men. Yeah, that's right. Real Men of Genius.
Right.
Oof. That'd be a good one to have, wouldn't it? That one and what's the other one that he does?
Something has something to do with odor, I think.
Odor? Ugh.
Yeah.
Or maybe we could get Insane for the Chains or whatever.
Oh yeah. Well, that's actually a legitimate commercial.
Yeah, that's a legitimate one there.
That's actually a legit thing. So
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not into shticky radio.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything. But if Scott wants us to, maybe we can come up with some good fake names too for ourselves.
Well, that was we've done that before.
Yeah, no, we could do all the hacky radio stuff if he wants us to. You know.
Well, I'm not ready to do that yet.
Hey, you can be Lowrider and I'll be Flat Tire. Hey, it's the Lowrider and Flat Tire show. It's me, Low Tire, Fat Tire, whatever.
Right.
Just terrible.
I'm not ready to do that yet.
Yeah, we could do a morning zoo.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Are you sure? Because I could go out and get one of those clown horns and I could honk it every time I say something funny.
Yeah, or you could get some cymbals and bash them.
Right, or slide whistle.
Actually, I think I might have some sound effects that we could actually use in place of that.
Okay.
So let me see. Let's. I got some comical sound effects.
All right, let's see.
Tell you know that gas station joke I told you.
Oh Jesus, I do, but I don't remember.
You know about taking your wife somewhere expensive. Remember that joke?
Oh yeah.
You
want me to tell? You want me to tell it like I'm doing doing it on a morning show?
Yeah. Let me find a good sound effect though to go along with this.
Okay.
Let me see here. No, let's see. I got hilarious sound effects.
No, let's hear them.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is what you wanted. This is what you were talking about, right?
Let's hear.
I mean, something like that.
Yeah, it's great.
How about like this? How about that?
Perfect.
How about this? Nah, that sucked.
That sucked.
Let me see here.
You got something going, ha cha 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 cha.
About this one. Okay.
Oh man,
those are kind of lame, aren't they?
They're all lame, but so is the joke I'm about to tell, so it's perfect. Oh no.
How about this one? Not that one. How about this one?
All right, that's it right there.
About that one, huh?
That's the one we use right there.
All right, so here we are. We're at the Morning Zoo. This is the Morning Zoo. This is Jasper along with my good friend.
I'm Loose Tire.
I'm Jasper.
Jasper and Loose Tire here.
Hey, Jasper, or Loose Tire. I'm Jasper. This is Loose Tire. We're here on the Morning Zoo show. And, hey, Loose Tire, he's known to be a pretty funny guy. In fact, as a matter of fact, he went home from the station last night, and his wife asked him, hey, it's been a long time since we went out to dinner. Is that what she asked you?
That's right there, Jasper. So I went ahead and my wife said to me, she said, boy, you need to take me out to eat. We need to go somewhere that's really expensive. So you know what I did there, Jasper?
Where'd you take her?
I took her to the gas station. Want to do one more? I got another one that this is one that Scott told me. This is a perfect joke for commercial radio.
Oh, okay.
For Morning Zoo.
Let me find the right
setup.
Yeah, how about this one here? How about that one? How about this one? Okay, go ahead.
All right, well, you got a lead there, Jasper.
All right, Loose Tire. So you're knee-slapping funny. I tell you what, this Morning Zoo show wouldn't be the same without you. So what else you got there on your plate?
Well, I got to tell you, Jasper, I don't know if I told you this, but the other night, me and the wife there, we went off and went horse riding. Did I tell you about that?
No, you didn't tell me. I didn't even know you rode horses.
Well, it's not a well-known fact about me riding the horses there, Jasper, but me and my wife, we went out there and we rode some horses there last week, and I got out on the horse and I got settled in, got locked into the saddle, and I gave that horse a good kick, and boy, it took off, and it was going. I was like, you gotta stop! Whoa there, horsey, whoa! Then my wife unplugged it. The Walmart guy laughed at me.
Was that your wife laughing at you there, Loose Tire?
Commercial radio morning shows stink.
And this is you want to know what I did after I stopped at your house when you weren't home and said hello to your wife?
Yeah, what's that? Jeez.
There you go.
Wow. Commercial radio is the worst. What gets me is that there's you know what gets me the most about that is that there are just teams of people out there that just go through all these sound effects and they find ways to use this stuff and they think it makes their show good.
Exactly.
Like that Preston and Steve show, and I think that's in Philadelphia. It's just wacky hack garbage like we're doing right here. And highest rated show in Philadelphia.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense. Who's listening to this crap? Nice.
Thanks for checking out the Best of the Classic Metal Show. You can tune into the Classic Metal Show live every Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com.
Classic Metal Show.